Okay, let's have a look at this Module 2 JC Consulting case exercises query by example problems. Okay, so let's start this. It says select the last name, project ID and client name fields for all records for the employee with the last name Novak. Which of the following project ID values is not associated with Novak? So to do this, you've got to download from Cengage the files, right? So we're module 2 and download it, and click that button to download the zip file. And what you should end up with is a zip file called accessmod2files.zip, and extract all for that, and then you get the 3 ACCDB files. So I'm just going to open up that one, right? And the aim is to, oops, I forgot to do my usual trick of right clicking, going to properties and clicking unblock, so that we say we're good with running that. So we can do that, open that up, and we will enable content, and let's have a look at what we've got. Thinking about it. So what have we got? We've got to get Novak and which are the project IDs. Right, so there's our employees, and let's just see if we can't right, let's just sort by last name, A to Z maybe, and there's Novak, and his employee ID is 52. Right, and what do we want? We want the last name, project ID and client name for all fields. Right, so we've got employees, clients, and let's just make that a little wider. And then the other thing is we want projects. Right, so we've got to figure out how to get the client name, project ID and last name. So let's create a query, right? And we're just going to use the simple query wizard, and from table let's start with table employees, and we just wanted the last name from table employees, right? From project ID, so probably want project ID, right? And then client name, we want client name. Okay, so one or more isn't related to the others. Click OK to edit the system relations. You'll need to restart the wizard. Okay, so for some reason the project and employees table are not linked, so we need to edit relationships, and we want to create a new one, and we want to go from say projects on employee ID to employees and employee ID, and we'll enforce referential integrity. Okay, I need to close the employees table, yeah, and clients, yeah, and projects. It's usually a good idea. I should have done that to start with. So let's go back here and edit our relationships again, and we'll create new, and we want a the projects and employee ID, and we want the employees and the employee ID, and we'll enforce referential integrity. Now we've got a problem, and because we don't have a primary key. That should be a primary key. So how do we make it a primary key? We right click and we say primary key, and we'll save those changes, and let's try this. Now we've got the key there. Now we should be able to edit relation, and maybe the third time's the charm. So projects going to employee ID, and no, we want create new, don't we? We want something has happened. For some reason, there we go, that's better. Sorry, this is taking so long, but we want to create new. We want the projects and the employee ID and the employees and the employee ID. Okay, and we'll create, and now we have a relation. Okay, and I'll just delete that from there. Okay, and now we can close that out, and we'll save the changes. So now let's go back and do our attempt at a query wizard, simple query wizard. And what did we want again? We wanted the last name from the employees table, and we wanted the project ID from the projects table, and we wanted the client name from the clients table. Okay, so there we have that. Now we actually want to do a little different. We want that, the criterion, to equal Novak, I think. Okay, and now let's go back to the datasheet view, and there we go. We've got Novak, we've got that. Which of the current is not associated? 1, 17, 26, or 4? 1, 14, sorry, 1, 4, 17, and it looks to me like 26 is the one that's not there. Right, so select the project ID, project start date, client name, and government fields for all records where the government field is true. Which of the following clients? I thought we did this. Maybe maybe not. So we'll select the project ID, project start. So let's do another query, and I'm gonna so we'll do the simple query wizard, and actually let's cancel that and create a new query wizard. And what did we want? We wanted the project ID, project start date, client name, and government fields. So project table, project ID, project start date, client name, and government fields. Okay, so that's that, except we didn't say government is true, so we go to the design view and say equals true, right, and then we go back to the datasheet view and we should see that, and we've got project lead the way and the help card. So A looks like it's the one that we want. Okay, and select the project ID, project start date, client name, task ID and description fields for task ID test 01 and a project start date of that. Sort the records in ascending order by project start date. What are the project start date and client values for the first record of results? Okay, I might leave this one as the last one to do. So let's have a look. We will close that and we'll create our query wizard again. We want the project ID again, so we'll go for table projects. We want project ID, project start date, client name, task ID, and description, and a project start date after 1/1/2020. And we've got that one. Okay. Now I didn't do the, so we want project start date is greater than 1/1/2020, and let's just do that. And let's go to the datasheet view again, right, and sort the records in ascending order by project start date. So we haven't done that yet. So sort, we want ascending order by project start date, right, and then we go back to the design, now we go back to the datasheet view, and there we are, right. So this is, oh no, we've got to test 01. I forgot to do another task ID. It has to be equals test 01. So let's try that again. And there is all task ID test 01, and looks like it's Brent and Hannah Law Firm. So it looks like it's C, and we can do that. Anyway, work your way through these using Microsoft Access, and you should get pretty familiar with how to use that query wizard. Bit of a hiccup at the beginning because of the lack of a relationship